A 1969 penny sold for thousands of dollars. Could yours be next? And what about the 1975 penny, could it be just as valuable? Stick around to find out. In the late 1960s, amid a nation in flux and the hum of modern industry, a single U.S. penny emerged from the mint with a story that would soon captivate collectors and historians alike. This coin was born during an era of rapid change, when traditional craftsmanship met industrial precision, and every piece of currency carried echoes of a shifting society. Deep in the mint, where machines pounded out thousands of identical coins each day, a minute misalignment in the die went unnoticed. Under the steady rhythm of production, one seemingly ordinary 1969 penny acquired a subtle deviation, a flaw that would silently grow into a remarkable signature of its time. As the coin began its journey into circulation, there were no immediate fanfare or headlines, it simply blended into the everyday transactions of a bustling America. Yet, within the vast multitude of coins, this particular piece carried an unintentional mark of imperfection, a barely perceptible ripple along its edge and a delicate distortion in the portrait that adorned its face. It was an error so slight that it could easily have been dismissed by anyone untrained in the art of numismatics. However, in the careful eyes of those who treasured every nuance of minting, this small aberration promised a deeper narrative, one that hinted at the hidden complexities of industrial production. A dedicated collector, whose passion for coins had been nurtured over decades of meticulous study, encountered this error during a routine inspection of a growing collection. While examining a 1969 penny under a magnifying lens in a modest, book-lined study, the collector's practiced gaze caught the irregularity, a subtle misalignment that disrupted the otherwise familiar design. The initial shock quickly gave way to a mix of exhilaration and curiosity. With each careful turn of the coin and every measured glance, the collector felt the pulse of history beneath their fingertips. What had been a standard-issue piece of currency now beckoned with the promise of a hidden story, an unexpected twist in an otherwise predictable narrative. Driven by an insatiable desire to uncover every detail, the collector began poring over mint records, historical accounts, and expert analyses. Gradually, a picture emerged. The error had occurred during a brief moment of mechanical recalibration at the mint, a time when the machines, pressured to meet high production quotas, experienced a fleeting misalignment. This solitary incident had produced a coin that was nearly indistinguishable from its peers, yet it carried an enigmatic flaw that set it apart. The collector experienced a roller coaster of emotions, a blend of pride, astonishment, and a touch of disbelief, realizing that this minute error had transformed an everyday object into a veritable relic of industrial history. As word of the anomaly quietly spread through numismatic circles, experts began to recognize that even the smallest deviation in a mass-produced coin could carry profound significance. In hushed conversations at coin shows and specialized auctions, collectors debated the rarity and authenticity of the error, exchanging insights that only deepened its mystique. Initially, the misprinted penny was seen as a minor curiosity, yet, as additional evidence of its singular origin surfaced, its value began to shift. The coin's worth was no longer measured solely by its metal content or age but by the rich tapestry of history and human error woven into its design. Over time, the coin's value evolved almost imperceptibly at first, a few extra cents here, a modest premium there, until it captured the imagination of a wider community of collectors. Each new discovery about the coin's past, each meticulous verification of its error, served to increase its allure. It was as if the misprint carried with it a hidden promise, that the margin between perfection and mistake was thin, and within that gap lay the potential for extraordinary transformation. The coin's journey from a mundane piece of currency to a coveted collector's item was marked by whispers of rarity, secret auctions, and the careful documentation of every known detail about its origin. What made this 1969 penny truly exceptional was not only its scarcity but also a twist that defied conventional expectations. Unlike other error coins that often featured blatant double strikes or off-center images, this coin possessed a unique characteristic, a delicate, almost artistic blemish that subtly altered the contours of the portrait and the surrounding inscription. The imperfection was so refined that it seemed less like a mistake and more like an unintended signature of fate, as though history itself had inscribed a fleeting message on the metal. This rare twist captured the imagination of experts, who debated whether the error was a mere mechanical accident or a serendipitous intersection of human endeavor and industrial process. In private discussions and written correspondence, the collector recalled the moment of discovery with vivid clarity, a moment when the coin, once an overlooked piece of circulating currency, revealed its hidden depth. It was an experience that underscored the belief that even in systems engineered for uniformity, a spark of unpredictability could emerge, endowing an ordinary object with an extraordinary legacy. The coin's slight imperfection came to symbolize the delicate balance between human precision and the unforeseen quirks of mass production, a balance that, when tipped ever so slightly, created something altogether unique. Further investigations into mint records uncovered an even more unexpected revelation. The error was not an isolated incident but part of a very narrow window during which the mint's machinery underwent a rare recalibration. This fleeting moment, documented in scattered production logs, had produced only a handful of coins bearing the unusual mark. The rarity of the error was amplified by the fact that it was a one-time occurrence, a solitary deviation born of a transient lapse in the otherwise flawless process. This discovery added another layer of intrigue, prompting experts to re-evaluate not just the coin's physical attributes but also the broader context of minting practices during a pivotal period in American history. The implications of this singular misprint rippled through the numismatic community. Collectors began to see the 1969 penny error as more than a simple mistake. It was a symbol of the unpredictable nature of creation, reminder that even in the most regimented environments, chance could produce moments of accidental beauty. As auctions began to attract higher bids and private collectors clamored for authenticated examples, the coin transcended its status as a mere error and evolved into a cherished piece of American heritage. Every additional study, every detailed examination of its minute features, only served to enrich its narrative. In a quiet study lined with reference books and archival documents, the coin's story continued to inspire those who believed that history was written not only in grand events but also in the subtle deviations that tell us so much about human imperfection. The 1969 U.S. penny error became a touchstone for discussions about quality control, the fallibility of machines, and the unexpected intersections between art and accident. It was a small, unassuming piece of metal that had, over time, become a portal into an era defined by both ambition and the occasional slip of fate. Even now, as the coin passes from one passionate collector to another, its narrative endures, a story of how a minor flaw, born of a single moment of oversight, grew to encapsulate the spirit of an entire age. It reminds us that history is often hidden in the smallest details and that sometimes, perfection lies in the unexpected beauty of an error. The 1969 penny, with its delicate misprint and layered legacy, stands as a testament to the idea that even in the relentless pursuit of uniformity, the accidental can become the unforgettable, and the ordinary can be transformed into an enduring masterpiece. In 1975, amid the steady hum of industrial precision and a nation in the midst of transformation, a U.S. penny emerged that would one day rewrite the narrative of accidental brilliance. Deep within the bustling corridors of the mint, where machinery and human expertise intermingled to produce a symbol of American currency, a single coin bore a subtle deviation, one that went almost unnoticed at the time but would later captivate the hearts and minds of collectors. The minting process was both an art and a science, steeped in tradition and bound by rigorous standards. Yet, on that fateful day, a minor misalignment during the striking process led to an imperfection so slight it escaped immediate detection, leaving behind a legacy of mystery and quiet wonder. The coin's production occurred during a period marked by social and economic shifts. In a time when the country was questioning established norms and embracing change, even the smallest details carried significance. The 1975 penny, normally a straightforward representative of American ingenuity, became an accidental testament to the interplay between human error and mechanical precision. This coin, with its nearly invisible anomaly, encapsulated a fleeting moment when routine procedures diverged from their intended course, a deviation that would eventually be recognized as a rare error. A lifelong collector, whose passion for coins had grown from youthful curiosity into a dedicated pursuit of history in metal form, found themselves holding this particular 1975 penny with a mixture of disbelief and excitement. As they meticulously examined the familiar face of Lady Liberty, something was different. There was a slight asymmetry in the embossed details, a subtle distortion in the relief that hinted at a misprint. The mint mark, usually perfectly centered, appeared slightly askew, as if the coin had briefly danced to its own rhythm during production. This small irregularity stirred an undercurrent of emotion in the collector, a blend of skepticism, excitement, and the profound realization that they might have uncovered something far more significant than a mere manufacturing oversight. In the following days, the collector embarked on a journey through dusty catalogs and whispered conversations with experts. Their initial discovery evolved into an investigation marked by a gradual accumulation of evidence and historical context. Each new piece of information was like a fragment of a larger puzzle, gradually revealing that this coin was part of a broader pattern of minting errors that, while rare, carried a weight of historical intrigue. Archival documents hinted at a brief, undocumented period when the mint experimented with new techniques aimed at preserving the longevity of its machinery. During that experimental phase, a slight malfunction occurred, a deviation that resulted in the unique misalignment seen on this penny. Though the experiment was short-lived and quickly abandoned, its unintended consequence lived on in the form of a coin that defied the expectations of collectors and historians alike. As more experts began to take an interest, the story of the coin took on a life of its own. The error, once considered a trivial flaw, slowly evolved into a symbol of serendipity within the realm of numismatics. Initially, the penny's misprint was met with cautious curiosity by a small group of collectors, who understood that even a minor deviation could carry tremendous historical and monetary significance. Over time, however, whispers of its rarity began to circulate more widely. Auction houses, once dismissive of the coin's error as an insignificant oversight, started to acknowledge its unique value. The progression of its worth was not a sudden leap but a measured ascent, as the community pieced together the coin's backstory and recognized the improbability of such an error surviving in an era dominated by exacting standards. A closer examination of the coin revealed physical details that elevated the error from a mere curiosity to an object of intricate beauty. The misprint affected the relief in subtle yet unmistakable ways. The normally symmetrical features of Lady Liberty's profile were rendered with an unexpected twist, her expression and the contours of her features acquiring an enigmatic quality. The distortion extended to the surrounding elements of the design, where the delicate interplay of light and shadow was altered by the imperfect strike. Metal that should have been uniformly distributed instead bore tiny ridges and slight variances in texture, a tangible record of that split-second deviation in the minting process. For connoisseurs of coin art, these nuances were not imperfections at all, but rather the hallmarks of a piece that transcended its original purpose, becoming a living document of history's unpredictable course. Amid this unfolding tale, a revelation emerged that added an entirely new dimension to the coin's legacy. Newly surfaced internal communications from the mint suggested that during the period in question, engineers had been experimenting with innovative, though ultimately discarded, techniques intended to streamline production. In the midst of this experimental endeavor, momentary lapse in calibration had produced a ripple effect across an entire batch of coins. This insight introduced an element of intentionality to what was once assumed to be a random error. The possibility that the misalignment was linked to a deliberate attempt at innovation, a moment when tradition was momentarily set aside in the pursuit of progress, gave the coin an additional layer of intrigue. It was as if this solitary penny encapsulated the tension between risk and reward, between the drive for efficiency and the unwavering commitment to quality. This unexpected twist sparked fervent debate among collectors and historians, who now had to consider not only the error itself but the broader context of an institution daring to experiment in a world that prized consistency. For the collector, this newfound knowledge deepened an already profound connection with the coin. It was no longer just a rare misprint, it was a testament to an era of bold experimentation and the unpredictable outcomes that sometimes arise when innovation meets tradition. In quiet moments of reflection, the coin took on an almost mythical quality, a small but potent reminder of the delicate balance between human endeavor and the fallibility of machinery. The collector began to see it not merely as a valuable object to be appraised in dollars and cents, but as a storied relic, a bridge connecting the everyday practices of the past with the aspirations of a nation on the cusp of change. As word of the era's significance spread, collectors from far and wide began to seek out any coin that bore even a hint of the same anomaly. Private collections grew in stature, and auction records steadily climbed as bidders recognized the rarity and allure of the misprinted penny. The coin's value, initially a modest curiosity, steadily transformed into a coveted treasure that defied the conventional metrics of worth. Each transaction and every mention in numismatic circles reinforced the coin's dual identity, a piece of currency with humble origins and a storied artifact born from a fleeting moment of imperfection. Its value was a living testament to the unpredictable nature of history, where even a slight deviation could unlock a legacy that reverberates through time. In the end, the 1975 U.S. penny error stands as a reminder that beauty and significance often reside in the unexpected. Its subtle misalignment and the curious interplay of design elements have turned what might have been an overlooked mistake into a symbol of historical experimentation and innovation. The coin's journey, from a nearly invisible flaw in a mass-produced piece to a beacon of numismatic rarity, reflects the enduring power of chance and the human capacity to find meaning in the imperfect. In this unassuming artifact, the echoes of a moment when tradition briefly yielded to experimentation continue to inspire and captivate, inviting each observer to ponder the delicate dance between precision and unpredictability that defines both history and art.